Hola, hola, hola. Hello, 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 my beautiful planner baby divas. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl here, Daniela, the planning diva. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me here today. I really appreciate it. It's so good to see you. And welcome to the channel where we're just paper craft divas and we're crafty and we're cute and we have a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, divas. It is currently Monday evening. It's about 7 o'clock. Came home from work, cooked up some dinner, and now I'm here in the crafty corner. I wanted to film some videos over the past weekend and I just didn't have time. I didn't get around to it. Well, actually, no. Let's wake it up. I did have time. I just was very, very lazy over the weekend. I was a little bit hungover on Saturday and it just totally ruined my day. I didn't even drink that much on Friday. It was one drink. But I really don't have a high tolerance, so it got me. Anyways, we're going to be filming 2 videos today, this afternoon. These are the videos I really like filming over the weekend, and ideally I get them up, Monday, Tuesday. But, we're starting off a little bit later today. Hopefully I'll get one up tomorrow and then on Wednesday. Just be backed up a little bit here. So I'm going to be filming this video, which is going to be my work planner plan with me for the coming week. I'm also in a second, right after this, I'm going to be filming my fitness plan with me. So that will be coming next after you see the work planner plan with me. So yeah, that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to be working in my Erin Condren vertical planner. You guys, I've abandoned this for the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, it happens. It comes and goes. But let's get back into it. Let's finish the year strong in this. I want to commit to working in my work planner every single week for the rest of the year, except of course the weeks I go on vacation and holidays. But for the most part, I want to be in this. I want to finish off the year strong. I am going to be using an Erin Condren for my work planner next year. It's actually going to be an outdated Erin Condren planner because I bought 2 vertical planners for 2025. I thought I was going to be able to use the other one for something. I just never ended up using it, so I have an Erin Condren planner in my stash. I'll just have to redate it, but that's fine. I do like the Erin Condren vertical for work. I'm not sure if I will stick with an Erin Condren for work moving forward. It was fun to try it out. Maybe I'll pick one up every couple of years or so, but I just like happy planners so much more. But it's fun to switch it up every once in a while, I've been in a happy planner pretty religiously for the last 5 years, so it doesn't bother me, doing 4 years happy planner, 1 year Erin Condren or some other brand. But I have been having a lot of fun with this baby. So without further ado, this is a long intro. Let's turn the camera around and get to planning. Let's go. Okay, guys, we're here with the Erin Condren vertical planner. And first things first, you guys, it's time to change up this cover. I need to change it up, you guys. I need to pull out my little camping Erin Condren planner. Hello Kitty camping Erin Condren planner cover. I got this when I went to the EC store earlier this year, and I've been kind of hoarding this planner cover, but now it's time. It's time to get into this. Yay! Putting on a new cover always makes me feel like it is a completely new planner. Like if you want to get out of a planner rut or just kind of recommit to a planner, switch up that cover. It feels like a brand new planner. Personally, I feel like it makes me so much more motivated to see this, like to see a different cover on it. It just feels like a fresh, clean slate, So I'm going to store that rainbow cactus cover in the little sleeve, the plastic sleeve that I have here. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now it's protected. I can tuck that away. Look how cute this cover is. So adorable. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you're a little bit up close and personal with this planner. So let's go to August. So that's the August divider. Grow Positive Thoughts, very cute. Here's the August monthly. I don't really use the monthly too much, to be honest. I do kind of want to get into it, but it's honestly not something I'm extremely drawn to. I guess something that I can do is I can add the lab meetings that we have going on. Oh, actually, oops, I think I messed this up here. We didn't have lab meeting on the 5th, so it's already the 11th, Monday the 11th. So we have lab meetings for the rest of the month. Let me grab my iPad. Okay, perfect. We have lab meetings on Tuesday. I also would like to add some mousy things to this calendar. I like keeping track of when our mice are born and when they need to be weaned, especially the weaning dates. So weaning is when you separate the babies from the mother and kind of set them up in their own cages as they move on to adulthood. That's a very crucial step in mouse colony management, and I oversee that. So I like keeping track of when that needs to happen. But in order to access like our mouse colony records, I have to be on my laptop, and I always forget to go grab my laptop or like write down the notes of when the mice are gonna be born. So you guys, the monthly overview, I really don't use this. The monthly lined pages, I don't use this either. I just don't use all of these extra pages in the Erin Condren, which is one of the reasons why I want to move back to a happy planner. I just don't feel like I take advantage of all these nice little things that the Erin Condren offers. I would if this was my only planner, but it's not. And yeah, I abandoned this planner for the last couple of weeks. I didn't use it this last week of July. I didn't use it this first week in July. And now this is the current week here. But let's get back into it, you guys. It's okay to abandon your planner every once in a while. It happens. The trick is just to return to it when you can. So I want to commit to being in my work planner for every single week for the rest of the year. So that is the rest of August, September, October, November, and December. And we have some extra note pages in the back here. But if I'm in this planner for the rest of the year, I really will feel like I got my money's worth out of it. It's been kind of hit and miss over the last couple of months. The first half of the year, I would say it was very hit and miss, but I feel like I'm really getting into the routine, the planner routine, my new life, my new house, my new job. Like I'm finally, a year later, really getting into it. Like I'm starting to build those habits that really allow me to play with all of these multiple planners and use them to my advantage. At the beginning of July, I committed hard to my daily planner, and I've been really good about being consistent in my daily planner. And so I'm kind of hoping to keep that same energy with my Erin Condren work planner, especially since, you guys, this week marks my 1-year anniversary at my current position. So that is super exciting. I can't believe it's been 1 year since I essentially started on a new career path. So it is kind of monumental for me. It's a big anniversary. It's a meaningful anniversary for me. And I told myself that at the 1 year mark, I would start kind of gearing up towards thinking about my next position. I told my boss when I hired on to this position that I would commit 2 full years to this position. I gave her my word I would stay in this position and not run away. And I also committed to myself that I would take a position that was a little bit less work than my previous position for 2 years, and I would relax and not have an intense work schedule for 2 years. We are officially halfway through that promise, and I already can feel myself wanting to explore other career options. I'm already looking forward to my next position, not because I don't like this current job. I actually really do like this current job, but honestly, you guys, your girl needs to get paid more. I took such a pay cut to be in this position, and that pay cut also meant I am doing a lot less work. I have much less responsibility. The tasks that I am tasked to do are relatively simple and basic, and I can get them done pretty easily. So I exchanged money for freedom and relaxation, which is a good deal. But honestly, you guys, I need to get paid more, and I want to continue to push myself and develop myself and keep advancing in my career. So moving forward, after this week, we are going to be doing just that. So I'm going to give myself one last week of freedom. And then in the next week, because technically my 1-year anniversary is on the 19th, a Tuesday. Starting next week, we're going to start gearing up towards, getting ready for the job market in 6, 7, 8 months. Because although I did commit to 2 years, a 2-year position, it does take a while to find a job. So I'm thinking of starting to apply a little bit more seriously in March and April of next year. So that would give me about 4 months or so to reach that 2nd year mark. Ideally, I would like to work my full 2 years and then transition out at that 2-year mark. But if it's a little bit before or a little bit after that, that is totally fine. But it does take a while to find a job. I'm used to taking at least 3 to 5 months to find a job. So I want to give myself ample opportunity, ample time to prep for that so that I'm ready to go once my 2-year anniversary comes around. So that is the plan, you guys. And oh my goodness, we just chatted so much and I didn't even lay a single sticker on the page. That is insane, you guys. I need to learn how to multitask, but honestly, you guys, I'm not very good at it. So let's start off planning here. I'm going to start off how I always start off, which is my sidebar and my goals. So let me grab a little happy plan sticker and lay it here on the sidebar just to start off. I can use some of these little circle stickers as bullet points for my goals. And I'm going to be using the Tanya Garcia Bright Travel sticker book for this spread. I thought this would be a lovely sticker book for August, since we are still, a full month away from the end of summer. Some people are out here acting crazy, like the fall is right around the corner. Do not disrespect my girl summer like this. I am a summer baby. I love summer so much. It is my favorite season. And I'm already super sad to see that the end of summer is, approaching in the distance. We still have a month left, a little bit more than a month left. So I'm going to be enjoying this last month of summer. I refuse to have any fall decorations in my house until the first day of fall, you guys. Okay, so for goals, you guys, let me think about this. I'm going to map out all my goals and then I'll come back and let you know what I need to do this week. Okay, you guys, I mapped out my goals for this week, and this is one of those weeks where I actually have a lot to do. There's a lot of mice being born in the colony right now, so there's a lot of genotyping to be done. So long story short, the majority of my job is genotyping the colony. So that means that every single mouse that is born in our 500 mice plus colony needs to be genotyped. What that means is that their DNA needs to be analyzed, and there are certain genes that these mice are bred for that we need to determine what kind of genes they have. So when every mouse is born, I essentially snip a little piece of its tail off and then I extract DNA from that tail, and then I run some molecular biology analyses to determine the genetics of those genes. We have a lot of mice being born recently, so that means a lot of genotyping, a lot of tail snipping. It is quite a bit of work. It's very mechanical, very repetitive. I can do it in my sleep, but it is a lot of work. So by the end of this week, I want to maintain our mouse colony at 99% completion. That's kind of the gold standard I set myself to. Goal number 2, I needed to conduct a comprehensive colony check as well as print some cage cards for the mice. This always happens every single week on Wednesdays. That's my big colony day. I want to read a scientific paper. I've been meaning to read this for forever and I haven't at all, so I really want to make an effort this week. This paper is on idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which is what my lab studies. It's a disorder of the lungs. I really need to review the meta-analysis that I've been working on for the last couple of months. I need to get back to it. I sort of abandoned it for a couple of weeks, and I need to get back to it and just continue working on it. I want to set myself a reasonable goal of reviewing experiment 1A in this meta-analysis and updating it. I also need to write a summary of the results of the last experiment we did, which is experiment 9A. This is the GRP78 project. So that is a protein that is produced in the cell that helps the cell deal with stress. I'm sort of wrapping up a project with this analysis, and I just need to write it all down and summarize it and tie it up with a nice neat bow and send an email out concerning this project. So I'm going to be working on that. I need to start working on the quantification of the results of the previous experiment. So this experiment 9A that I've been working on, I need to do some quantification of the final results. This is something that's completely new to me and I just need to start learning how to do it. I have a protocol. I just need to sit down and start working on that. And last but not least, I need to continue doing my bleomycin training, which is perfecting a procedure done on the mice. I'm essentially sticking something down the trachea of mice and spraying an aerosol into their lungs to mimic idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It's a very delicate procedure. It's very tricky. And yeah, I've been working hard on perfecting that technique. So I need to do more training. I think a couple more rounds of training and I'll be, more comfortable to actually start doing experimental work. And I also need to write a kind of a summary of all of my training stats, kind of giving an idea to the lab about how successful I've been with it. And I also need to start writing the protocol for that. So those are my goals, you guys. So let's start planning. You guys, planning my weeks, it's necessary. It really is necessary for me because I feel so out of sorts when I don't have a plan heading into the week. I kind of just feel a little bit like lost at sea. There's just so many directions that I can go in that if I don't have a solid plan laid out, I feel like I kind of flounder throughout my day and throughout my week. And because I haven't been planning that much in my work planner as of lately, I've definitely been feeling a little bit like a fish out of water when I'm at work. I'm just moving from one thing to the next without really thinking through what's the best order of things, like what's the best time to do certain things. It's not that big of a deal because for the last couple of weeks, things have been actually kind of quiet in lab, not too much work going on. So I feel like I've been okay to kind of let things just flow along as they do. But moving forward, like I said, I'm really going to be entering this era where I want to really take advantage of this last year that I have in this lab, get the most out of my experience in this lab. I have learned a lot in this lab because it's a medical research type of lab. It's something I never did before. I've learned a lot of new cool techniques. I've really built up my resume from this. I feel much more well-rounded as a scientist, and I feel like I have a lot more opportunities now that I know all this stuff from working in this lab. I want to continue to learn in order to really present myself in the best light possible when it's time to find a new job. So I want to feel like I'm going in and I'm making the most out of every single day. So that is the plan. And you guys, this is why I do this. This is why I'm La Planning Diva. When you plan, you are really becoming the best version of yourself, and it definitely shows. You guys, I was sharing my schedule with one of my colleagues, and I actually had this was a couple of weeks ago, but I actually had all of my schedule planned out already because you know, girls, I'm a planner, I'm a planning diva, so I knew my entire schedule for that week. And he wanted to come in and shadow me on a couple of things and join me in some of my responsibilities. And so I sent him like a full list of my schedule for the week. And it was blocked out, you know, like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. He knew exactly where I was and what I was doing. And I even wrote some notes about why he might want to join me on certain projects, because he's a new addition to the lab, and so he's trying to learn some things about the lab. And do you know what he wrote to me? He says, let me read to you. He says, "Hi, Daniela. Thank you so much. This is great. You are so organized. Very inspiring." Isn't that amazing, you guys? When someone recognizes your planner divaness and celebrates it. It was a big moment for me, you guys. Okay, you guys, I don't want this video to be super long. I yapped way too much in the beginning. I'm trying my hardest not to be so yappy, but I just kind of get carried away, you guys, and I just want to start talking. So, okay, you guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly lay down my plans, lay down my stickers, and then I'll come back and let you guys know how it all went and what my plan is for the week. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, you guys, so I started off by recording what I did on Monday because at this point it's Monday evening, so the day is done, but I wanted to record what I did on Monday. So in the morning, I just did some administrative tasks, catching up on emails, that sort of thing, and then by 12:30, I was ready to go down into the mouse house for the rest of the afternoon. Mondays are usually a big day in the mouse house. I spend at least a couple of hours there because over the weekend, you know, things happen. So stuff I didn't get to over from last week. So I spent the rest of the day in the mouse house. And then for tomorrow, this is when I really started planning. So I have to go down to the mouse house again from 9 to 11 to finish up a couple of things I didn't get to finish on Monday. And then after that, I'm setting aside time for genotyping from 11 to 2 p.m. And then from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., I always set aside that afternoon for our lab meeting. Wednesday is my big mouse house day. I'm in the mouse house from 9 to 2 p.m. And then from 2 to 5 p.m., I'm setting aside time for genotyping because, again, we have so many mice right now that need to be genotyped that I'm probably going to need that chunk of time in the afternoon. And hopefully I'll finish, but if not, on Thursday, I set aside the morning, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to work on genotyping. If I am able to finish by then, I can work on a couple of other things. So I left Thursday morning kind of open, and then Thursday afternoon is going to be my bleomycin or lung injury training session from 12 to 5 p.m. And then I just decorated a little bit on the weekend. And I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been writing a little task at the very bottom of the column for each day. Erin Condren planners have this little section at the very bottom of their vertical planner, and I have been lately enjoying it as a place to write down an extracurricular task or a career development task. So these are things that are outside of my current 9 to 5. Things that I want to work on in the afternoons or in the evenings after work, or maybe even in the mornings before work. So just a couple of extracurricular tasks, either having to do with my art organization or finishing up some other projects from my postdoc. And Friday was pretty much open. I wrote down a couple of things that I would like to get done, but I left it kind of loose, and that was my week, you guys. Oh my goodness, you guys. I was hopefully not super out of frame the entire time. I think I was in frame, but think I might have been like a little bit like out there, but it's okay. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm so glad I did a voiceover because this video would be super long. You guys, this is gonna be a busy week. Let's see if I can achieve everything I am setting out to achieve. It's a lot. I'll let you guys know how it goes next week when I come back for my work planner plan with me for the following week. Can you believe that we are already halfway through August by the end of this week? We're halfway through August. And then it'll be September. And fall does not begin until the 22nd, you guys. So we have still at least more than a month of summer to look forward to. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Drop some mouse emojis in the comments down below. And if you have any questions whatsoever about the kind of work I do, the kind of science that I do, feel free to ask any questions in the comments down below, and I will do my best to reply concisely, clearly, and to the best of my ability. All right, you guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you in my next video. So until then, stay safe. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy planning. Adios.